Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. In today's video, we are going to start with a new topic of measurement of matter, that is atomic size and atomic mass. Okay, so let us start. How do we determine the size of an atom? So, atom size can be determined by its radius. Now, how you can determine atomic radius? When you have isolated an atom and the atomic radius of an isolated atom is the distance between the nucleus of an atom and its outermost orbit or the outermost shell, right? Now, this atomic radius is expressed in nanometers, nanoscale, correct? So, approximately, if you see the size of a hydrogen molecule or a water molecule or a hemoglobin molecule, its atomic radius is given 10 raised to the power minus 10, 10 raised to the power minus 9, or 10 raised to the power minus 8. That is for hemoglobin molecule. So, we can determine that it's quite small, right? It's already in nanometer. So if you determine it in meters, it goes to 10 raised to the minus 8, 10 raised to the minus 9, or 10 raised to the minus 10. Something of that scale. Followed. So how do we determine the atomic size? We can determine the atomic size by determining its radius. How do we determine the radius? We determine the radius by determining the distance between the nucleus of an atom and its outermost orbit. Followed. Moving on to the next slide, that is the atomic size will depend upon a few factors. What are these factors? Number of electron orbits in the atom. So if we say that the number of orbits are more in a particular atom, then the size of the atom would also be large. For example, an atom of potassium is bigger than an atom of sodium, right? Because there is one extra shell as compared to sodium in case of potassium. Followed, sodium is 11, correct? Which is definitely smaller number than 19. So in case of potassium, it will have one more shell extra. Now if two atoms have the same outermost orbit, then the atom having the larger number of electrons in the outermost orbit is smaller than the one having fewer electrons in the same outermost orbit, correct? For example, if you have two two atoms who have same number of orbits, right? Two, for example, magnesium and sodium, they both have same number of orbits, but but magnesium has more electrons in the orbit than sodium. Sodium has only one, magnesium will have two in the outermost orbit. So the atom which has larger number of electrons, that is magnesium here, right, will be smaller than the sodium. So magnesium will have smaller smaller atomic radius than sodium. So it is clear that the atom of magnesium will be smaller than that of the atom of sodium. Now why this happens is because more electrons, if they're in the orbits, they will be pulled with greater force towards the nucleus, and that is why the orbit or shell will lie closer to the nucleus. Thus the size of atomic radius would be reduced, and so the atomic size would be less. So in this topic we have learned two things. Firstly, that the greater the number of orbits, right, the larger will be the size. And second, if the number of orbits are same but the number of electrons are more in the outermost orbit, then that particular atom will be smaller than the atom having less number of electrons in the outermost orbit. Correct? Now here in this particular picture I have shown a field ion microscope image of iridium atom. Correct? Now if whatever you see, the just the spots which you are seeing, they are each atom. Correct? That is the image of a particular atom. So it shows that these atoms are very tiny. So if you compare the subatomic particles like protons, neutrons and electrons, they will be extremely small as compared to the atoms itself. Correct? So we use modern instruments like electron microscope, field ion scope, scanning tunneling microscopes to enlarge these images of the atoms so that atoms can be observed properly. Followed? Moving on to the next, that is the mass of an atom. Now, the mass of an atom is mostly the mass of the nucleus. Why? Because electrons have negligible mass as compared to protons and neutrons. So what we do is we just add the number of protons and neutrons, that gives us the atomic mass number. Followed? Also, the protons and neutrons are together called as nucleons because they are present in the nucleus. So what do we see here? The mass of an atom is determined by the number of protons and number of neutrons present in the nucleus, right? These subatomic particles, protons and neutrons, are together called as nucleons because they are present in the nucleus. What is nucleus? That is the centermost part of an atom. Followed, and the distance between the nucleus, center of the nucleus, and the outermost orbit was what? Atomic radius or atomic size. Followed. Now, relative mass of an atom. See, the atom is very tiny, as I already told you. So it was not possible for scientists to measure the atomic mass accurately in the previous century. Therefore, the concept of relative mass of an atom was put forth. When we say relative, means we are comparing two atoms, okay? Now we will see what we were comparing these atoms to. So, there was a reference atom which was required for expressing the relative mass of an atom, okay? So, hydrogen atom was being used as it was the lightest atom known. So it was initially chosen as the reference atom. So whatever it was, we were comparing the mass of other atoms to that of hydrogen. For example, if you take helium, helium is having double the mass than that of hydrogen, because if you see, you take two hydrogen atom and one helium atom, they will weigh the same. Correct? So the relative mass of a hydrogen atom, which has only one proton in its nucleus. Why only one proton? Its atomic number is 1. So hydrogen has one proton and one electron. Okay, you have to make sure that the number of protons and number of electrons in an atom are same. That is why the atom is electrically neutral. The atom has no charge on it, right? If only it loses or gains an electron, then it will have some charge, correct? So seeing this topic again, the relative mass of a hydrogen atom, which has only one proton in its nucleus, was accepted as 1. So hydrogen was considered as 1, right? Therefore the magnitude of the relative atomic masses of various atoms became equal to their atomic mass number. Correct? So it will be P plus N, that is protons plus neutrons. Followed, students? Now relative mass of an atom, if you see, hydrogen with the atomic mass of 1 and nitrogen of 14 and carbon of 12. Now let us see how to express the relative mass of a nitrogen atom, having accepted the relative mass of hydrogen as 1. Correct? The mass of one nitrogen atom is 14 times that of a hydrogen atom. Therefore, the relative mass of a nitrogen atom is considered as 14. This is how the relative atomic masses of various elements were determined. So, nitrogen is 14 times heavier than that of hydrogen. So, hydrogen is 1 and nitrogen is 14. On this scale, the relative atomic masses of many elements came out to be fractional. Therefore, in the course of time, different atoms were chosen as reference atoms so that they will not be fractional. Okay. In 1961, the carbon atom was selected as the reference atom. Initially, we selected hydrogen as the reference atom. Now, we have selected carbon as the reference atom. In this scale, the relative mass of a carbon atom was accepted as 12. Okay. The relative atomic mass of one hydrogen atom compared to the carbon atoms becomes 1 upon 12. Right. So, 12 into 1 upon 12. That is 1 again. The mass of one proton and of one neutron on the scale of relative atomic masses is approximately 1. Followed. So today we have highly accurate methods for measuring the mass of an atom directly. Hence, instead of relative mass, unified mass has now been accepted as the unit of atomic mass. Now you will learn in higher classes what is unified mass. Here what we do is we take different atoms of the same element, right, and then we measure the atomic mass. So in unified mass we have accepted the unit of atomic mass as Dalton, which is symbolized as U, and 1 unit of atomic mass is equal to 1.66053904 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 kg. Just it is a superscript, okay, not a subscript. There is a typing mistake here. So what is how we are calculating the relative mass? Initially we considered hydrogen, right, which was having 1 as the atomic mass. Now here we have considered carbon, which has 12 as the atomic mass. So if we take again the mass of 1 proton and 1 neutron on the scale of relative atomic masses will become 1 again. Followed? So then we consider unified atomic mass and not the relative mass, because relative mass is not so accurate as compared to unified mass. So what is the unit of atomic mass we consider? That is Daltons, and it is symbolized by small u, and 1 unit is equal to the number given 1.66053904 into 10 raised to the power minus 27 kg. Followed? That finishes our topic of atomic mass, relative atomic mass and atomic size. Thank you so much students for watching the video.